Oh shoot. Bahala na. Bahala na kung medyo may problema yung ating stinger.
Okay lang yan, guys. Okay lang yan.
Ayan.
Well, I'ma just say this. I guess you can say the stinger faded away.
Oh my god. That's vile.
So, ayun.
That's actually
This is
vile.
the OC Philippines Nationals 2025.
Oh
Lively
my
Peninsula.
gosh. Why?
Okay, I hope the stinger's back now. Pwede pa test nga one more time.
Okay, okay. So, introduce the match. Introduce the match para malaman natin.
Okay, so itong si Wewoj. So we have Wewoj here versus Buenoo. We have a 7K match here. Alam mo,
Ayun,
hindi natin
ayun.
pa pwedeng hindi i-stream. This match is extremely huge.
Yeah, indeed. Like, this is actually very vital to, this is very vital to how, I'd say how the rest of the weekend really would go. Kasi, as far as I know, like, in 7K, like, this is the closest seeding match we have. And as far as I know, in 4K as well, you also have 4 versus 5, the same. Diba? As usual. Hello? Diyan pa po ba?
Don't worry, I'm still here. Nag-space out lang a little bit because of something. But anyways.
Okay. Sige.
I'm actually really, really excited for this match. Just because of all the things that can be here.
Anyways, we're off to our protects here. And si Buen ang magiging unang protect natin ngayon. And actually, that kind of falls in Bueno's favor, especially if we're looking into protecting Rice 4, which is our core jack pick. And for those who are not that aware, Buen is known to be a really strong core jack player for in previous PH Nationals. Kaya medyo mas pabor sa kanya kung kasi we've seen the core jack pick actually being banned. Most banned chart ata ang core jack as far as I know. At ayun na nga po, prinotektahan ng ating core jack. Non-fiction.
I'm not surprised. Pero I feel like this could have been better. I think it could have been a technical pick na lang. Kasi Bueno's accuracy is, at least from what I've seen, very, very good. Yeah. I really think it should have been a technical pick instead of a core jack. Kasi Wewoj just core jack is really good as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now, si Wewoj naman, protecting Alan 1 and also, the two most banned skill sets in the round of 16 are protected in this particular matchup, which I think gives us a hint on how things will be going here in this particular matchup. Okay? Ano ba? Let's see. Ban natin Rice 1 mula kay Wewoj.
Yeah,
very
that's
expected.
A very good man, yeah.
Speed pick out. Ayun naman, we have Ellen 4 being banned here by Buenoo, and again, no surprises, that's our Ellen inverse pick. Kaya very standard bans here from both of these players. Buenoo isn't exactly the person who you'd want to isn't exactly the person who you'd expect to play long notes and especially full LN inverse.
Valid, actually valid bans here. I just, so Buenoo is first pick, right? I think Buenoo will start with probably Rice, maybe Rice 2 or Rice 3.
Yan nga. No, Buenoo is actually opening with their protect immediately. So immediately going for the banker pick na get that one sure point, if you're that confident. Pero again, as you mentioned, Wewoj's core jack accuracy is really good as well. Kaya medyo kakabahan ka rin dito ikaw si Bueno. Like, you kind of have no idea if your opponent is actually able to keep up that form, like similar to what they had during the qualifiers, which you would actually expect. Ang map pool natin this weekend is around the difficulty of the qualifiers. Okay, so ito na po.
I'm very interested to go to like look at the mindset for each players here. Actually, Bueno having a little bit of a rocky start, but I don't think that was like a 200, so it shouldn't be that bad. If it's just a ratio problem, then that could easily be fixed, which is a good sign. But like as I was saying kanina, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to comment on how Wewoj's score jack is also really good, but that 200 or 100,
Pero,
I can't tell.
Ano Bueno actually dropping a bit of accuracy as well. So, this is still really close between these two players. Like, we're within 1/10 of a percent between these two players. Kaya, this lead isn't exactly safe. Kasi like, kung tataasan pa ni Bueno yung accuracy niya, like, this lead will easily close down.
And this is exactly why I didn't want Bueno to protect this. I understand it should be a Rice protect, but wala na bang ibang option here? I mean, look at Wewoj's consistency. Ganito kasi yun. Again, like what I mentioned kanina, you have to consider them as well. What is the probability of a player banning a certain chart? Wewoj was very consistent sa mga picks like this last weekend. I believe Wewoj had a pretty decent core jack score then. Wait, what was
those
that?
Those 200s, yeah. Those 200s are...
That's the worst part to drop at 200 because that's the lowest chance of your opponent dropping 200s.
Pero the lead is closing down, pero okay, there you go. The scores are finally flickering. And Bueno should just take advantage of the rest of this chart really.
Still has to put in the effort though. If Bueno drops another miss, that's really going to be bad news. But here's the thing, Wewoj's accuracy is going lower and lower. Oh, that kind of really did shit to Bueno. I guess now I can see why Bueno chose to protect it. Siguro, something that I was really concerned lang was, yun na nga, can Wewoj keep that same consistency from last week? Parang, okay, it's only one pick, so we can't really say much. But the fact that Bueno is gaining accuracy as the chart goes on should already indicate the validity of this protect, and I actually really agree with what he did now looking at this result.
And like the best thing really for Bueno, especially like ang ganda nung positioning agad niya, like just starting the match really on the right foot, and also this also gives like Bueno a clue na hey, I should probably target some of these big chord charts like Rise 2. Kasi medyo doon nawala yung accuracy ni Wewoj. Finding a few act drops really on the big chords. Kung for the more attentive people who are watching.
Yeah, indeed. It is 1-0 Bueno right now, which I think is a very interesting start, no? Like usually, by the way, 1-0 Bueno, right?
Yep, indeed. Okay, medyo nagloloko po ang ating streamer. Teka lang po. Ayun.
Okay, LN1. Okay.
Big meme.
Better. Alam mo, medyo... I would have been really concerned if Wewoj went with the Rice back. Kasi ganito yun. Last match kasi, it started like this. I think it was Sen who picked Rice.
Yes.
Boji picked Hybrid ata. Tapos Sen picked a Rice. Kaya sabi ko, teka lang, I hope Wewoj doesn't make the same mistake here. Buti na lang, Wewoj saw, okay, maybe we can go for another kind of pick, which is LN. And this is the good pick in general. The only caveat though is if hindi matapat yung act ni Bueno here, then that's gonna be bad news.
And Bueno actually has a really good start on this chart, which is It is pretty interesting. Pero ayun, unang mintis coming from Bueno. And these stray misses might be the main thing that we'll have to observe throughout this entire matchup. Kasi kanina, like, Bueno actually had a really good start. But, never mind, like, dropping an entire L and tail. Ito, medyo, this is giving Wewoj some breathing room that they would appreciate entering this chorus section as they still maintain their full combo. And the shield's not really posing any problems, even like, to both of these players, really. So medyo stagnated tayo sa around 6,000 point lead as of this moment. Pero Bueno is slowly catching up accuracy-wise, kaya medyo kailangan mag-ingat ni Wewoj dito.
This entire match is gonna be, can Bueno catch up to Wewoj in terms of consistency sa LNs and hybrids? Can Wewoj keep up with Bueno's accuracy in the rise? Parang ganun yung naging pattern dito eh. And you know, matches like this are usually set to last very long. I hope it does go the distance.
Okay, so tabla na po tayo. Practically tayo na po tayo accuracy-wise. Combo na lang, combo yung medyo, combo yung advantage talaga ni Wewoj dito as of this moment. But Wewoj is actually pulling ahead a little bit, is over a full 10th ahead of Bueno already accuracy-wise, and obviously still maintaining this full combo. The patterning really not phasing Wewoj as of this moment.
Yeah, this consistency from Wewoj is definitely... This is really what's brought him to this position talaga. Last weekend, there we go. That miss from Bueno will really extend that lead. Kasi last week, Wewoj's consistency brought them ahead of Tenshi. If any more misses happen, like that could have been a much more difficult battle. Eh ngayon, Wewoj being very consistent definitely helps a lot.
And Wewoj will just continue pulling ahead, pulling the score up more to his side as we are about to end this start. Bueno finding problems with those really tight releases. Like those releases are really, really tricky. Like it's actually hard to see even on the most readable of skins, which just puts into perspective Wewoj's full combo in this chart.
Actually, Wewoj has the better ratio.
Oh.
Okay, same turret count, pero worse. Pero si Bueno has the worst good and 50 count.
Good 50 count.
Kaya nga parang, okay. So, now that we're looking at this, and the fact that Wewoj has the better act, okay, this is where the EX picks, in my opinion, will really be interesting. Can Wewoj, like ito if Wewoj picks EX Rise, that's where stuff gets so interesting. If it ever goes that path, I will be like, that's a very bold pick. Pero I can understand why. Okay, hey, look, it's Cars. Hey, nasa kwarto ko yan.
Uy, kachaw. Okay, I actually like this pick for Bueno. Technically speaking, density-wise, this is the easiest pick of the pool. Pero actual physical difficulty-wise, no, this is far from easy at all.
Well, anong klaseng pick ito?
This is the technical accuracy heavy pick. So more like mixed tries, if anything.
You know, for a song named Turbo, it sure isn't going too fast.
I mean, there are some minor speed sections as far as pero like yung pinaka-signature pattern talaga dito is like adjacent column trills. Which you're gonna see a few moments from now.
Ang mahirap dito kasi is the fact that the last pick already showed Bueno's inconsistency on some picks. I hope it doesn't transfer to this. Kasi remember, the first pick is very straightforward. So we're going somewhere different here from the Rise direction. I just hope the consistency can stay because Wewoj is seems to be in the same consistency as last weekend. But that accuracy is starting to get concerning.
Okay, here we're about to enter like. Ooh. Okay, both of these players getting through that section just fine. No one's getting pace here right now.
Oh, someone is going to make a mistake. Like,
okay, there goes the Trills. Here comes the Trills. I saw a 200 from Wewoj, and Buenoo is still 99.8. This is really impressive.
yeah.
But a big miss. A big miss.
That's massive. That's massive.
Yes.
But
okay.
That accuracy difference though, medyo
Ano eh, kakailangan pa ng isang miss. But that trill section, Buenoo has to be really careful because that's not the last of these trills.
Kaso if Wewoj doesn't improve, kasi ganito yun eh. Here's my technique, my trick to telling when someone can miss. If you look at the unstable rate, and it's starting to get unstable talaga, there's a high chance someone is going to make a mistake. The problem though is with players like Buenoo who misses very cleanly, it's gonna be hard to predict kailan magkakamali si Buenoo. Yun nga lang, we can make an estimate on where misses can happen. Which, honestly, this section could be one of them. But like what Surf mentioned, there is gonna be another trill section. Honestly nga, itong section na to, I'm surprised no one has dropped anything.
Wewoj impressively still carrying a full combo after everything. Okay. This section. No one missed.
Wait.
Wow.
No one missed.
More of these patterns.
Yeah, no one is missing. Ka-chow! I just wanted to say ka-chow too, okay?
Yeah.
Wala pa din nag-miss.
This is a relatively cleaner section for both.
Ayan, that's the first miss.
But yeah, I don't think that matters really.
Siguro, if no one is missing, ibig sabihin nun hindi ka na niya miss. Ay, iba na yun.
Eto na naman po tayo.
Pero, isn't it interesting how, ganito yun eh, Wewoj's accuracy advantage on the hybrids and on the LNs, I'm gonna make an inference sa hybrid in a bit. Pero, ang hula ko is Wewoj's accuracy advantage is a little bit smaller in terms of LNs compared to Buenoo's accuracy advantage when it comes to Rice. And I think that's actually really interesting and kind of concerning then. Kasi the moment a Rice-based hybrid comes into play, how will that work out?
I mean, malalaman natin if Mijino Resha manages to get picked. Actually, no. The Chunidim song, Hybrid 2, gets picked. Like, malalaman natin dyan. Kasi, like, the patterning of Hybrid 2 is pretty much similar to Turbo. It's faster, but with more LNs. Kaya medyo mag-ingat-ingat kung sino mapipili dyan sa Hybrid 2. Because if I say anything, Hybrid 2 really plays like those Rice na may LN na chart. Which is like a rare sight in tournaments nowadays. But anyways, we're changing a bit. I mean, not really, like changing up the song, really. Style of song here, we have Nanatsukaze Dream Gravity. Ang LN density pick natin, Wewoj is picking this. I actually like this pick personally. But again, you mentioned yung accuracy is gonna be, the accuracy advantage Wewoj has over Buenoo in these Olympics. So it's gonna be playing a role in how this one will play out in particular. Kasi ito yung pinaka-straightforward sa lahat ng charts natin in this weekend's LN pool.
Oh my god. I don't know how this one is gonna go really. Pero I mean, okay, it should really have Wewoj taking this on paper.
Yep.
On paper. Kasi we've seen Buenoo's starts to get inconsistent pag naging dense medyo yung patterning or naging technical yung LN patterns eh.
Indeed.
But, I think it would be very interesting to see how this plays out.
Okay, that mini invert section already dropped Tank Bueno's accuracy a lot. Like, just enough to be around Wewoj's accuracy level here. Pero Wewoj has to be careful with these accuracy drops as well. Like, you don't want to be too far behind.
Yeah, and we've already established that Wewoj's consistency on the LNs is better. So the moment Bueno drops, it's gonna be bad news. All Wewoj has to do is hold combo and pray that the LNs will really damage Bueno. That's the strategy here eh. Kasi parang you don't really have a choice. I don't think you should rely on out-acting Bueno. That's not the strategy on LNs. The strategy is you hold combo well enough and hope that a section misses or makes Bueno miss. Kasi the moment you focus more on baka you might forget that Bueno's LNs isn't the most consistent.
Pero, eto na. We're gonna be testing that theory in a few moments from now. Because, if I remember correctly, how this is started, we're getting to that part na the long notes are gonna get marginally longer. For good and for bad. Especially if you're Bueno here. Pero so far, so good.
It's starting to... Okay, I'm getting nervous. This is where I would think Bueno will start to drop, ha?
Ooh,
Kasi,
they're doing well.
Di ba kanina sa inverse section si Bueno nag-drop?
Oh.
Ito yung...
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yan, that's what I was saying.
Oh, but Wewoj vanishes trade.
What? That's an even bigger one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's surprising.
Okay, big miss of Bueno. But I don't think there's enough time though.
Okay.
I don't think there's... Yeah, Wewoj
instead. What?
I think there's not enough time. Bueno is gonna steal this point, I think.
Oh, wow! There's no way. The inverse patterns is what actually helped Bueno. That's surprising. In the previous pick, that wasn't how that went.
LN drops yun, huh? Like, it wasn't even like full-on misses. It was just missing the tails, I think. Or breaking the LN. Wow. Also, again, just noting what was said earlier, Wewoj needs to stay as close to Bueno as much as possible.
Kaya, you see where the theory comes from, di ba? You can't rely too much on your accuracy kasi the assumption is Bueno is going to out-act you. The only problem though is you can see na Bueno had opportunities of missing. Doon ka dapat magre-rely on. See, in tournaments, you have to consider, do I focus on acting? Do I focus on comboing? Ideally, it's both. Pero in a realistic setting, mapapagod ka talaga. And ngayon, you're seeing where the combo theory really comes into play.
Okay. So, now, if you're Bueno, I would actually say go, Rise 2 Matic or maybe Rise 3. And
I think it's dapat Rise 6. I think it should be Rise 6.
Actually, Rise 6 as well. Rise 6 is a really good option.
Kasi ganito Ano
Mambubura.
ba Rise ulit?
Ayan, the official term, Rice Buraot. The wild
ayan,
card.
di ba?
Ayan.
Rise 6.
Oras na po para sa ating official Buraot chart.
Here's my take on that. Do you if you notice in LN3 na out-act ni Bueno si Wewoj. So that gives Bueno, even if let's say Bueno loses this, that gives Bueno some breathing room even if Wewoj eventually picks an LN choice.
Oo. Actually, wait. I just realized. Alam mo, yung first half lang talaga nito yung like I would consider hard per se. Like the second half of this start is pretty straightforward for certain people, and I think Bueno can take advantage of the patterns at the second half of this chart. Kaya now that I thought about it, this is a really good pick for Bueno. And if you're Wewoj, you want to hold on as much as possible, and that miss is the opposite of what I said.
this is what I'm really excited for. Etong mga moments na to, these are defining moments here. The moment that Buenoo can hold on, parang papakita talaga niya what he's really made of.
Honestly, like, I'm kind of interested to see what Wewoj is gonna pick right after this. Kasi as it stands, like, Buenoo has an overwhelming advantage now. Like, this is like the biggest score gap that we're gonna see throughout this entire match in theory. Like, should everything hold as is?
Grabe. Actually scary. It's actually scary. Parang, I don't even know how much of a lead this is. Like 19,000 points. Ewan na, like, masabi ko na lang, it really is surprising to see how consistent Buenoo has been. Kanina parang nung first pick ni Wewoj, parang medyo nagda-doubt ako, tas ngayon, that consistency is insane.
And honestly, I'm actually, and if you're Wewoj, I would say na, what if you just swing towards the EX picks already, like after this? What if? Kasi,
It has to be the EXLN pick,
kasi
for sure.
ano eh. Also, Buenoo accuracy 991k. Okay. I did not notice that until I just saw that.
Alam mo, sir, if you take it away, I have to drink water.
Okay.
Ang intense na to.
Okay. So, Wewoj going for hybrid 1. Maybe banking on getting this chart much getting to this start much better than they did on Dream Gravity, pero I don't think I like this. I don't think I like this pick at all. Coming from Wewoj, medyo alanganin, I'd say, especially considering what we saw ng LN density. The patterning between these two charts is actually pretty similar. Kaya I'm not sure really if this is a good pick. But, touch move tayo. Di na no take backsies. Unless, if for some reason, Buenoo manages to find some inconsistency in this pick na hindi na like, Buenoo won't be able to take advantage of your accuracy. But, like, as it stands, like, Buenoo has been performing really well. Even on picks that we don't expect Buenoo to take advantage for the most part. At ito na nga po, Buenoo with an early lead. Wewoj actually, ang medyo rough yung start niya, starting below 99%. And again, as I mentioned, like, you really want to stay as close as possible to Wewoj. Kasi stay close as possible to Buenoo. Ito si Wewoj, as we mentioned kanina na you're not gonna out-act Buenoo for the most part. Kaya you just keep it close and hope that Buenoo finds a miss, like a big moment in this entire chart.
I don't know, man. Like, okay, so this is hybrid 1, diba?
Oh.
I didn't like this. Like, the moment I checked the map sheet kasi, nakita ko, this is hybrid 1. And I was like, why do I feel like this is a panic choice?
Okay.
Okay. Now that makes it interesting. So, ito na yung theory na sinasabi ko, where Wewoj has to rely on the combo score.
Okay, Buenoo is actually finding trouble on that overlapping LN chord. And that's helping Wewoj right now. Pero like, I don't think this lead is safe.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem kasi is Buenoo's accuracy is extremely high. And now, Wewoj has to drop. I have a feeling Wewoj finally got some composure, probably recovered from the previous picks. I hope that's the case. And the problem naman is, okay, itong part na to probably favors Wewoj kasi because of how unorthodox the LNs are. Yun na nga,
Yep.
as you can see, Buenoo is starting to drop. Although having, I think, the slightly better accuracy. Yes, they have tied, pero
Yeah.
I think medyo mas mataas si Bueno by a
Yeah,
little
yung
bit.
ratio. Yung ratio.
Pero ito yung sinasabi ko
Oh.
eh. The combo theory is really what Wewoj has to try and rely on.
Yung accuracy, you're not gonna out Bueno, as you mentioned.